I read a devotion the other day on Mark chapter 4 that really helped me to shift my perspective, and I want to share some of it. So I'm going to do a reading from Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke and rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear, and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Now, this passage isn't about irrational anxiety. The fear in this story was pretty valid. I mean, the passage describes it as a great windstorm. And some translations say that the waves were swamping the boat. All right? These disciples were lifelong fishermen. Okay? I assume they knew the sea pretty well and could recognize genuine danger. And so at this time, the disciples probably imagined that they were in serious trouble. Okay? But then on the other hand, you have Jesus, who is literally asleep. All right? What a picture of serenity right there. That he is casually sleeping on a cushion in the stern of the boat. And while the disciples are in full panic mode, Jesus gets up, does a little stretch, goes up to the side and says, "Peace, be still." And there was a great calm over all the sea. Now, some could say that we're in a bit of a storm ourselves right now. And we need to remember to ask ourselves the same question that Jesus asked the disciples. Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith? Fear can be a symptom of a lack of faith. At a time like this, I know for me especially, it is easy for my brain to jump to the worst case scenario. But do we remember that God will be with us in that future that we're imagining? Are we focusing on the wind and the waves that are crashing around us and are being blown into our face? Or are we focusing our attention onto Jesus? Fear is a form of thinking where we imagine a future where God's not going to be present. But we know from this that God's always going to be present. He's always going to be right there for us. And even in that worst case scenario that we are imagining, Jesus has a really funny habit of showing up and transforming that situation entirely into something as a growing experience. So in this time, I want to challenge us to remember that the antidote to fear is often faith. So let's remember to have faith in these times and go and enjoy our days in prayer and with God in His Word, focusing our attention on Him. Thanks, Holland Avenue. Have a great day.